Hey there everybody, and sorry about that really cheesy introduction. I recently caught up with my very good friend Tim, or Sanxion as you may know him, who is one of the hosts of the Pixel Gaiden Podcast. Looks like we're going to have a guest. What do you think of the Nintendo Wii, Tess? We caught up because we went to one of the gaming markets that is hosted by Replay Events in Bournemouth. Now that was over a month ago, so this video is a bit slow making. See you. And we went over to the market and we wanted to talk about our experiences, what we saw there, pricing, what systems were available, as well as the free CEX shops. No, I'm not going to say it like they do in the adverts, that we visited in Bournemouth afterwards, because Tim made quite an astute observation which may explain where some of the stock that the traders have on their stands comes from. But anyway, I recently picked up a Nintendo Wii from a colleague for £10 mint in box, and it has the GameCube ports. So that's really cool because I love GameCube games and this will play them straight out the box. And it also makes, with the appropriate amendments, a really good little emulation box, which is going to be really helpful for my Rubbish Heap channel. Anyway, without further ado, this is the full-length recording. The original on the podcast was about 20 minutes, but this one is about 50 minutes long, so I hope you enjoy. We'll show you all of our pickups. Mine are all for the Wii, I'm afraid, but I hope you enjoy it, and I think we'll leave it there, so cut to about a month ago.
Hi, and I'm here with Vicky, and better known maybe as Sakiendo nowadays. Or
That still feels really weird. It's just a character of mine. Yeah, not an alias or anything like that. But yeah,
yeah. We all know Vicky now, friend of the show, Patreon as well. But yeah, here we are. We went on a road trip recently. In fact, it was last weekend, I think, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
And we went to a gaming market. Now, these are done by the people that do the Play Expo event.
Yeah, replay is it? Replay events or something like that?
Yeah. So we decided we needed a road trip, didn't we? We needed a day out. Definitely.
We needed a day out, yes. Yeah.
So we decided we're just going to buy some tickets. You bought the tickets.
Yeah.
I drove down, so we went to a place called Bournemouth, and it was held at the Bournemouth International Centre.
I think so, or BIC.
BIC.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
BIC as it's commonly known.
Yeah.
So we went down there, had a nice drive down there. We got a bit of breakfast on the way.
Didn't we?
Yeah,
it was pretty
nice.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Had a bacon butty, I think it was.
It was,
bacon
yeah.
sandwich,
Bacon
and a coffee. Yeah, lovely.
It's all good stuff.
Job was a good one on
Fuel
that,
for the day.
Yeah,
Fuel for the day.
Yeah. So we went to the gaming market. Didn't really have any huge expectations, I don't think, and it was more just to have a look around and see what was there more than anything.
Yeah, and obviously I've been out of the country for a number of years, and it was just nice that having got back here to the UK, a year ago, after 5 years or so in Japan.
5 years away, yeah.
Nice to be able to just do something together, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was another reason, I think. So yeah.
No, it's really good. So what did we do? So like I say, we went down to the Bournemouth International Centre, drove down there, parked up, walked in, and we were expecting maybe a few people milling around or something like that, because we bought the early bird tickets at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And got there, and there was queues and queues of people.
Yeah, there was a real snaking queue. So yeah, I think you might have said before we pushed the double doors open as we went in, it might just be a couple of us. We might be the only ones here. Yeah. So yeah, that didn't quite pan out, did it?
No. So we got there, and they scanned the tickets and all that sort of stuff, and we stood in the queue. Waited, I don't know, it must have been about 5-10 minutes.
It wasn't
before
that long,
they
was
opened
it?
the door. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so we got into the queue, and then walked into the hall, and there was kind of like a massive throng of people there already, sort of like 4 or 5 deep into some of the stands, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was already sort of pretty much everybody had fanned out as you went in through the doors, because the room was actually quite big.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have known that from the amount of people crowded around these tables, really. But yeah, there was a lot of people. I don't know how many people. Would you say maybe 500 people at least?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. And that was just on the first part. And then obviously there were people crowding in after that as well, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah, because you could buy tiered entry, as it were. So we got the early bird, the 11 o'clock, but you could also buy a 12 o'clock, and also the general entry started from 1 o'clock. So, so it was pretty packed in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So what did we find when we got there? Well, like I say, there was quite a few stands. There was some sort of like around the edge of the room to start off with, wasn't there? And I think we started around there, and then they had maybe 4 or 5 rows back to back of tables. And on those tables, they basically just had sort of like plastic bins, much like I've got here.
Yeah.
And they just loaded them up full of games and bits and pieces, didn't they?
Yeah, there was none of this. I mean, a few people had a few bits on sort of like tiered bits of stand, but I don't recall much being behind glass cabinets or anything like that. I think the vast majority of it you could just look through yourself, couldn't you?
Exactly, yeah. And there were some other little bits and pieces, like there's what are those pogs or whatever those?
Oh, what, the trading cards?
No, the little models.
Oh, what, like the figurines and stuff?
Yeah, there was those. There wasn't too many of those there, actually.
No, there wasn't. There was only maybe one stand that had any like figurines of sorts.
Yeah.
Do you mean like the things that had like the stands for like the consoles or the?
No, it's the ones that the really popular ones that come in the boxes. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I know the ones you mean. Yeah, what are they called?
Don't know.
Yeah, this is good, isn't it?
Great content.
They had stuff that we can't remember.
Yeah.
But you would have loved it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Nobody else does.
Yeah, no, and we had no interest in those whatsoever.
No.
We just walked straight past those because there's shops full of that.
There
sort of
are,
stuff,
yeah.
on the high
Pop
street.
something, is it?
Yeah, I think they're Pops or something.
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah.
That's showing our age now.
Yeah.
Gloss over that one.
Yeah.
So they had some of those there, and they had one that was really cool. Is they had like a stand which was like 3D printing signs, logos.
Yeah,
those were really nice. I was quite tempted by a couple of those. Actually,
I was as well, and I kind of forgot about it being there. But before we get on to and then we left.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it. It was only sort of perhaps when I was driving back at the end of the day. I thought never did go back to that stand, but never mind.
No, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we first went round, we were literally, just standing there waiting for the people to just sort of like go until you get to the front, and then you can actually then start picking through some stuff. And I think even the first stand that we came through, we were kind of like wondering, are these really the prices?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've seen things change over the years over here, obviously, like all of us have. If you've been sort of involved with any form of buying older, dare I say, retro games, at any point in time, you will have perhaps experienced a period where nobody wants the stuff and you can basically just take it off of people virtually, to then when obviously it goes up. So, but then of course, obviously, I've witnessed how it changed in the time that I was living in Japan as well. But I suppose I just thought that the stuff I was looking for was not rare. It wasn't overly sought after. I thought should be able to pick up a few things for a fair price. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be exactly the same as CEX, but I was thinking like if it's somewhere in between what it would cost me to buy from CEX with the postage, but maybe £1 less or something like that. Okay, fine. But yeah, it wasn't quite that.
Yeah. So the main things that you were looking for, this big stack of white boxes, is probably a giveaway.
Bit of a giveaway.
But we'll get onto that in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
So general impressions when we were walking round, it was very console heavy. There was very little computer stuff.
Surprising.
Very little computer stuff, which was surprising. But then, I guess the market really is more console based these days, isn't it? Certainly for the people that are, from what I could see, the footfall, the general demographic of people that were turning up there would be very much console rather than old fogies like me with Commodore 64s and whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I fall into that sort of odd in-between a bit there, I think, because, I mean, I didn't really think about it at all when I was going round, but yeah, I would say that I would imagine that the majority of people there were a bit younger than me. Not that much, maybe 10 years younger or so, but you're probably looking your 20-somethings to your early 30s in the main, I think.
A good 2 generations at least in console terms.
It is, isn't it? I mean, let's face it. I mean, I literally came in at the very end of the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
When I got one in, I believe, 91, still not really pinned it down what year, but it was sometime around then. And, you know, it was pretty much dead then anyway, but they were still selling them. And obviously then the Amiga. So, but then you've only got to go another 5 years, and you know the people of the age that I was when I in 91, they would not have been getting those systems. They'd have been going onto your Super Nintendo, your Mega Drive, and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So we were looking around, and there was a fair bit of Nintendo stuff, which I think for the most part it was the majority of it was Nintendo.
I would say so, although I'd say there's quite a lot. There was a reasonably healthy showing of PlayStation 2, as you might imagine, but also Xbox, I thought. Not maybe Xbox 360, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. But I think it was quite Nintendo heavy.
It was.
And most of that was sort of like Super Nintendo. There was a few bits of Game Boy stuff and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of N64, I thought, as well.
N64 as well,
maybe not lots of loose cartridges, but quite a lot of boxed Nintendo 64 stuff.
And NES stuff as well.
There was, there was NES stuff.
Ooh, there was some NES stuff. We'll get onto that in a minute. And the one thing I did like was there was quite a bit of Master System stuff around as well.
Yes.
And one thing that I was very tempted by, which I did manage to resist in the end, was a copy of Rainbow Islands, which caught my eye. And I think it was around about £25, I think, wasn't it?
It was, somewhere around there, 22, 24, something like, I can't remember exactly, but it was certainly 25 or less. But it was very nice, good condition copy as well from the looks. I mean, it was in a little plastic bag, but I'm sure if you had asked the seller if you were, you could have seen inside of it.
Because that's the other thing as well, is that they do tend to seal off a lot of the stuff, don't they, in plastic bags.
They do, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. A bad thing. I mean, in my time that I lived in Japan, obviously you get a lot of loose cartridges over there and so forth. And one of the things that really stood out to me was when you went into some of the second-hand stores that clearly other people had not been to for a long time, when the cartridges were just sort of out in the open, they did have a certain kind of, I don't know, sort of weathered look to them, shall we say. So at least this did, you know, ostensibly stop things from getting overly thumbed and pulled about and all the rest of it. So, because you'd like to think that everybody's going to handle a CD or whatever nicely and all the rest of it, you just don't know, do you? Could have just had a Greg's and then gone straight to check whether the DVD case has a manual.
Other bakeries are available. This is not sponsored by Greg's or any of the other bakeries. Anyway, right, so we were having a wander around. Like I say, a few games we spotted, and we've kind of snaked our way around a few of the stands, patiently waiting to try and get in there. Although I did notice you did steam in there in a few places pretty quick.
Sort of nipped in. I didn't sort of barge in. I just thought, there's the opportunity, go for it. I forgot I was British.
For a second. So then we were kind of like meandering our way through, and then I left you at one stand, I think, and then I was kind of like the advance party, wasn't I? You was going on ahead, scoping out.
This is it.
And then I came across a stand. It's like right on the corner. I think it was the second or the third row in, and it was just one guy by himself, and he had a modest table, and he had some plastic bins on there. And he had some console games, obviously, and he had Mega Drive, Master System, might have been some Nintendo stuff as well. And I was casually flicking through some of this stuff, and there was the Mega Drive stuff, and I saw Outrun. I thought, I wouldn't mind a copy of Outrun on the Mega Drive. That's quite a fair version. I looked down, and there was these numbers on the spines of the boxes. And I thought, I wonder if that's like a number where he knows where to pick the cartridge out of a box underneath or something. But no, that was the price. And the price for Outrun on the Mega Drive was £100.
Well, you didn't mention how much it was on the day, but that's insane.
£100.
£100, yeah.
That was ridiculous.
No.
But we did debate, was he actually aiming to sell on the day, and if he did, then he would have made a very good profit for it, I don't know what his reasoning behind it was, it wasn't sealed in the box or anything like that. It was, But anyway, so we had a few price shocks as we walked
We
around. Didn't we?
yeah. Well, we mentioned NES stuff, and of course, obviously, you've got to bear in mind that I've been sort of tooling around sort of second-hand stores in Japan. Now, I don't want to give you the impression that everything is cheap in Japan, because obviously, I noticed that changed over the time I was there. Things definitely became more expensive. Now, obviously, if you're going over there on holiday and perhaps you earn in euros or pounds or dollars or whatever it might be, whether it's Australian dollars or Canadian dollars or whatever kind of thing, you're probably going to think like, well, that seems quite cheap. But when you're earning Japanese yen, all things are relative, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I did notice that, you know, prices had risen over there. But the fact remains is that the Famicom, or the NES as most people possibly know it outside of Japan, was so popular in Japan.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you look at the period of, say, 1985 through to 87, thereabouts, you have something called the Famicom boom over there. And millions of units of this software is sold. And that means that even to this day, you can go into most second-hand stores and you're going to find a lot of the staples. And if they're not trying to rip you off, you can buy, you know, let me just pluck a game out of the air. Balloon Fight, for example. Balloon Fight. I don't know why it's popped into my head.
Did that, I wonder.
I know. It'll come to me in a moment.
Yeah.
But you can buy Balloon Fight loose for, I don't know, 500 yen maybe. It's a little bit more expensive than maybe some of the early Nintendo games. You know, you're going to still be paying more than you would for baseball, for example. But
okay, so 500 yen, convert that back.
it's roughly going to be about £2.50, £3, something like that at the
That's
moment.
just the loose cartridge.
Yeah. So if you're buying box, yes, you're probably going to be looking at more like, and again, I'm plucking figures out of thin air here, but generally speaking, I was finding boxed early Nintendo Famicom stuff for about 5,000 yen or thereabouts, and that would be in average condition, but it would have the little paper manual and all the rest of it. Well, I remember why I was mentioning Balloon Fight, because we found Balloon Fight.
We did, yes.
Yeah, I think you actually pointed it out to me.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
I was absolutely shocked because it was £300.
Yeah. So, well, did you buy it?
No.
I don't think I did either. So, no, I think we left it where we found it.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'd have been having a divorce if I'd have bought that.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Balloon Fight is quite fun, but you could just buy it on the Game Boy as well. So,
Yeah, or just play it on your Everdrive.
or buy a Famicom cartridge with it on. So, yeah, so I just insane.
I mean, to be fair, it was, I think it was a PAL version and it was the black box. So
It
one
was.
of the original ones. So I know that they do fetch a bit of money, but £300, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that struck
know.
me as very much I don't know, it's really hard to know how you label this stuff, because people, you know, how I describe myself as somebody who plays retro games, somebody else might say, well, you're very clearly a collector. I don't really use that word for myself, not for any particular reason, I just never really look at it like that. But to me, that looked like very much the person who was looking for, you know, the nice, good condition, in box, you know, NES collector, you know, mega fan kind of thing.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So, wowzers, that was a punch on the chin, that one.
Bit rich for my blood.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be fair, I mean the seller there did have some quite nice stuff.
They
there
did.
was some nice boxed N64, few games and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's like the standout one, I think. And,
it was.
you know,
yeah.
sometimes we think, well, maybe they just do this for shock value. You know, it's this guy's got £300 for this. It's, you know,
draws you over to have a
draws
look
you
at it.
over to it. Yeah, gets bums on seats, as they would say.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the rest of the stand was fine. I think it was the same one that they had. I think it was called Uni Racers in North America, but I think it's called Uni Rally over here. That was a DMA one that they got the cease and desist for. It's the unicycle game, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Because it had supposedly resemblance to Pixar's
Yes. Yeah.
unicycle animation.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about that, but I know. But they did have that, and I didn't think. I mean, I don't know what it goes for, but it had a price on it that if I had a PAL Super Nintendo, and I had maybe 20, was it about £20 maybe?
I think it'd probably been more than that.
Might be more.
Yeah,
Might be
yeah.
a bit more.
More like 40, I think.
Oh, was it? Oh no, I wouldn't have bought it then.
No.
So, oh well, but maybe I didn't think their prices were too bad otherwise.
Yeah.
So I don't want to labour the point, but yeah, I'm not trying to say that this particular seller was doing what your matey boy in the corner was trying to do. So yeah.
So I think the general gist of it was quite busy.
Yeah.
Lots of stalls, relatively high prices, But there were a couple of bargains to be had if you looked closely and you kind of like knew what you're looking for. Not suggesting that the sellers slipped up on anything, but I think it just generally some people were pricing some of their stuff a bit better than others.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a variation in pricing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I certainly noticed that. And of course, the other thing is that with somebody there, you can usually sort of haggle for a slightly better price, which
is exactly what we did. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that's part of it where they have the prices inflated and they know that you're going to do an offer, and if you don't, well, the thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll take your money.
Yeah. So should we get on to a couple of things that we got? I mean,
Yeah.
my pile is vastly different than to yours.
Well, yeah, but there's a
then-
reason for that.
But there's a reason for that. So
Yeah.
what did you actually pick up there? I can't remember.
Well, out of all of this lot here, let me just see. Now, I think, oh, that's right, it was these two.
Right.
So 2 games. So last of the big spenders as always. So, yeah.
So what did you get?
So now I usually prepare for things like this because I'm a bit sad like that. But when you're on a budget, I find that you just generally need to know what the going rate is for what you're looking for,
Yeah.
so that you don't get swept up with the feeling of like seeing physical product, because that's the sad thing about this day and age. I mean, you know, like we've both lived through the era of going into WH Smith's or John Menzies and all these kinds of places, and Electronics Boutique a bit later on, and
Yeah.
seeing games on the shelf. And of course now, in very few places,
It's a novelty.
it's a novelty, so it's very easy to get carried away. So and I'm not a spreadsheet person because I struggled like hell with maths at school, but I prepared a spreadsheet with the prices that CEX were charging for these games as a benchmark. So I picked up new Super Mario Brothers Wii. I'll just get it out of the way of that big stack there. This wasn't actually a game I was going to buy.
I'll model it for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, there you go. So this is it. Yeah, I don't know if you could drape it over your wrist like a bracelet. That's it. Yeah, yeah, that looks beautiful.
Wholly unattractive. There you go.
But that's what we're going for.
There we go.
But yeah, I wasn't going to buy this because in CEX at the moment, this is a £20 game, and I'm not going to spend £20 on a Wii game. Sorry, it's just a little bit too much. I mean, now some people might think that's silly. This was there. If it wasn't the stand that the Balloon Fight one was on, it was next to it. It had all the manual and everything with it. Everything's all in good condition. I don't like buying games without manuals if I'm buying them in a box. Either that or I purposely seek out the manuals later on. But it had £13 on the price label. There you go. That's it. And I said to the chap, what's the best you could do on this? And he said £10 cash. And I was just like, there you go. So half the price of what you'd pay in CEX at present, but their pricing goes up and down just like anywhere really.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good actually, because it wasn't a game I was expecting to be able to buy physical really, to be honest with you. So
No, I think that was a good price.
yeah, I think it's fair, and I'm sure maybe if you go back 5-6 years it might have been a lot cheaper than that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't live 5 or 6 years ago. I'm in the here and now. So.
Yeah. What was next?
Next was Super Paper Mario. This was a game I was looking for. CEX sells it for £10, and I got it for £8. I didn't haggle on the price on this one because it all looked really minty, so I was quite happy with that. I saved a couple of pounds on it. So
We're upside down.
oh, we're upside down.
There we go.
There you
Save
go.
pounds.
There you go. Yeah, it's the Australian version. So they use PAL over there, don't they? So, yeah. So I thought that was not too bad. I mean, that's, to be honest with you, that was kind of what I was expecting. If I could save £1 or so here and there, that was as good as I was expecting, really. But when you're seeing something for that's £10 more than what you could pay elsewhere, then you sort of, no. So that was a nice little pickup. So, and that was pretty much all I found at the marketplace.
At the market, yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
How about yourself? Should we move on to yours?
Yeah. So first one, this was a bizarre find.
It was a bizarre find. Stop toying with us.
Oh, they keep coming, don't they? Yes. So this was literally the only stand. And to be fair, this was a big stand right at the far end, and they literally had one whole side.
They literally did.
They?
Yeah.
It was a good, really good stand, and they had a lot of good stuff. They
Yes.
had Famicom stuff, NES stuff. They had Dreamcast, they had Japanese Saturn.
Yeah, they literally had Western. I hate using that phrase, but like non-Japan stuff, and then they had all the Japan stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Pretty much any console you could think of.
Yeah,
So.
it's really good. And they had a big stand at the back where they had a few bits and pieces. And whilst we're on that one, whilst we were there was a chap next to us, wasn't there? And,
you pointed out more than I did.
He picked out a load of stuff from over behind the counter, didn't he? And he had these the Famicom 3D glasses.
He did, yeah.
He picked up one of the recreated ZX Spectrums, which I think I've got one over there, which I'm pretty sure it was just literally a Bluetooth keyboard, essentially, which looked like a Spectrum.
Yeah.
And a pile of few bits and pieces like that. And I'm sure he probably came to a good deal on it. But yeah.
Well, if you're buying that much, he also had the Famicom basic accessory.
Oh, that's right.
In the very least, he had the keyboard. I don't know whether it had the cartridge for it or not. So it certainly didn't have the shoebox recorder for it. So, but they're rare as hen's teeth.
But anyway, so that stand was really good, and they were literally the only one that had any 8-bit stuff at all. And they had 2 or 3 sort of like medium-sized bins with cassette tapes, basically.
Yeah.
And they were all different formats. So there was Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore 64, the usual culprits. And one that I picked up was one that I kind of didn't really need for my collection, but I picked up Toy Bazaar by Activision.
There you go. Should I model it for you?
Oh, go on then.
There you go.
So yeah, Toy Bazaar, Commodore 64 game. Funnily enough, I was listening a couple of weeks ago to Sprite Castle, Flack's podcast, and he did it all on Toy Bazaar, and that kind of like I had that in the back of my mind. And the other reason why I wanted this one is because Eric very kindly sent me the cartridge version of this, so this kind of like matches up the pair. So that's why I wanted that one. And I think it was advertised at £8, and I offered him £5, and he took a £5 for it, so £5. So I don't think that was too bad, and it's in really good condition as well. It's nice condition box. And one thing with these ones is when you open them, closing them all the time, this spine along here in the middle often breaks, and this one is pretty solid, and it's got the instructions with it and everything. So yeah, that was a nice little pickup.
Yeah.
And then one that I really have to thank Vicky for. If you listen to the podcast, probably, you know, a regular listen, you would have known that in the past we've covered some Game Boy games, some Game Boy pinball games, and one of my favourites is Revenge of the Gator. Now, I wouldn't have known this because they were all on their side and all this sort of stuff, and Vicky managed to find this Revenge of the Gator in really good condition. And yeah, so I was sort of like and ahhing over it because I was potentially going to go back and buy Rainbow Islands, but then when this came along, I thought, no, I've got to have this because I love this game. Really good. And it was marked up at £30, and I gave him a cheeky offer of 25, and yeah, he took that. So that's in really nice condition. I'm not going to open it because it will make an awful sound because it's all sealed. But yeah, there we go. So there's Revenge of the Gator on the Game Boy. Great HAL Labs game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a difficult game to find loose in Japan, that one, but to find boxed Game Boy stuff in Japan is not as easy, and it's also expensive over there. So I know that this was a game that you said to me, oh, if you could find me Revenge of the Gator in box over there, go for it, kind of thing. And I never really, I think I might have seen one, but it was in much poorer condition than that, and I just didn't think it was worth it personally. So to find that one was a bit of a find. So yeah, it was you know, it was just literally the spine was sticking up, wasn't it? And luckily old Muggins me is well, you know, I knew what it was. So.
Yeah, so that was brilliant. So I was really happy about that, and I unboxed it. And I played it probably a bit longer than I should have done because I was literally trying to get out of the house at the time. And I was like, I don't want to stop. So yeah, I was really stoked about that. So thank you very much, Vicky. That's really good. So not long after that, I think we'd kind of like had our fill, really, hadn't we?
We had, yeah.
We decided, we've been around all the stands a couple of times, sort of like picked through what we want to do. Decided I didn't want to get Rainbow Islands, and completely missed going back to the sign stand.
There you go.
So we went out and then embarked on our second part of the day, which was basically trundling around all the 3 CXs in Poole and Bournemouth.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tim. Well,
not 3 CXs, CEXs. Sorry.
Yeah, this is it. Well, the problem is if you say it the way that they tend to say it on adverts, it starts sounding like we're talking about something else entirely.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
No, anyway,
this is a PG-rated show.
Yeah, this is it. So, we did go around them, but it's purely because obviously, for the value of what a lot of these games are, it's just not worth paying the postage on them, because if you're going to spend, for example, £1 on a game, but it's going to cost you £3 to have it posted, you're better off just waiting until a local branch potentially gets it in and then just going and literally buying it off the shelf kind of thing. So that was the reasoning for it, I think, more than anything. So, and on my spreadsheet, I'd made a note of where the games that I was looking from, if they were in the Bournemouth area, or the area of Bournemouth that we was in, which branch they were in, because there was one that was in like the town centre.
That's right, yeah.
And then there was one which is in a sort of like a suburb, which was Boscombe. I keep wanting to say Boscastle, but it's because it's closer to where we are.
Yeah.
And then the other one was on like an out of town retail park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was sort of more on the fringe of Bournemouth, wasn't it?
That's right.
We just walked over to the one that was in the town centre.
That's right.
And didn't take us long to get there. It was a bit cold. I think I was colder than you, though.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, because you chose to wear shorts.
Yeah, what an idiot. So we went over there and they pretty much had everything I was looking for. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember which came from where now, to be honest. So I think Ghost Squad did. So Ghost Squad, so for the Wii, it's a Sega arcade port. It's sort of basically sort of like... on rails shooter, kind of first person perspective game. It's not meant to be very long, but actually that appeals to me, because sometimes you want to play a game but you don't necessarily have like hours and hours to play it. So if you can enjoy a game for half an hour or so and see it through to the end, that's kind of cool. So that was £2, I think, that one.
Bargain.
So that's pretty good, isn't it? I'm like I say, I can't remember where stuff came from. So we did the town centre one, and then we went off to Boscombe, and I found quite a bit in there. So this one is Boom Blocks. This one is supposedly a game from Steven Spielberg. Or at least he designed some of the mechanics of it. I'm not entirely sure what he did, but it's a bit like Jenga on steroids is the way that I would describe it. It seems like a lot of fun. This was £1.
The whole British pound.
I know, so we're already £3 in.
Oh.
I know. This is it. I know.
Yes, it even says it. A Steven Spielberg EA game.
Oh, I didn't want to mention EA, but EA. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah. The next one was again another Sega first-person perspective shooter, so you're going to get quite a few of these, especially from Sega on the Wii. But The Conduit, which is apparently very, very good. I've yet to actually play a bit of it, but it's very highly rated. Apparently, it's a lot of fun and a bit longer than Ghost Squad as well. So, and I feel that I don't really play a lot of first-person perspective games. It's quite hard to say that, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and so I thought I need to play a few more of them because I quite enjoy them. I'm not saying they're my favourite, but and I think I paid about £3 for that one, maybe. So shocking, isn't it? So I'm in deep here.
You are.
Yeah, you should imagine what it was like talking to.
This one's actually got like an outer box on it.
It's got a slipcase on it, hasn't it? So there's like a I think it's like a hint book that comes with that one. So whether they all did, I honestly don't know. But you've got the standard manual inside of the DVD case as well. So that's pretty cool.
Got some nice artwork in there, isn't it?
Yeah. This is it. So
that's £3 all day long, that one, isn't it?
It is, isn't it, really? Yeah. I mean, even if it's just like a completely bog standard average 50% down the middle game, £3, and if you get yourself, I don't know what, 3-4 hours of fun out of it, well, that's not bad, is it?
Well, the coffees that we bought just opposite in,
I was just about to say that.
in Cafe Nero was more than that.
Exactly. So, and that coffee's gone, but I've still got the Conduit.
Still got Conduit.
Yeah. So I thought that was worth picking up, and there is apparently a follow-up to this which is called The Conduit 2, really creative. But that one's a bit more expensive, so I might be skipping out on that one. So, yeah. So I thought that was pretty good, really. And then the next one, this one is a Capcom brawler, Spyborgs.
Ooh.
So, yeah, so it's basically 3D brawler and all the rest of it. Again, you've got your motion controls and so forth. Bit of mindless fun, because every now and then I do like to take a break from the strategy games. You know, it doesn't always have to be Final Fantasy Tactics, or what's what I'm playing at the moment, Feda, on the Super Famicom. So, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I love that, but sometimes I just want a bit of mindless fun. So that's why I enjoy games like Final Fight and Streets of Rage and this kind of stuff. So I thought Spyborgs, it's meant to be okay. So came with everything, as you know, like I said, prefer to go for the manual. That one, I think, again, was about £2.
Yeah.
So again, you know, bank manager's deeply upset with me, but
About the going rate, isn't it?
it is about the going rate.
Good old Wii.
That's it. Next one is Shaun White Snowboarding World Stage. I think this is the second of the Shaun White snowboarding games on the Wii. I paid £1 for this. Yeah. So
A whole pound.
A whole pound for that. And so, yeah, I mean, as a skater, you know, I really enjoy snowboarding games as well. You know, like I've poured hours and hours into things like SSX Tricky and SSX3 and all that kind of stuff.
SSX
Love those games. So I thought this could be quite a bit of fun. It's meant to be, you know, good fun. So yeah, for £1, I think it's worth that.
Did you try it?
I haven't yet, no, but I've played the first one.
I was going to ask you if it was tricky or not.
I can't think of any puns to go with it, so
Moving on.
Sorry, it's a bit of a blunt answer, that one. Sorry, that was a pun, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Mad World. This one is Platinum Games. I think this is the first game that they did. So this it was published by Sega, and it's got such a cool art style. It's all sort of black and white sort of style and all the rest of it.
I think we've covered this on the show before.
You might well have done. Yes. It's quite well known.
And this is one I was thinking of picking up, but I couldn't remember what the title was. So there we go.
There you go. Mad World. So very violent, apparently, which is, I don't play a lot of violent games, but every now and then I just fancy something different. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one Cody's covered, because that's like I can never say it on the show either. Cell shaded style graphics.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So again, that I thought was a good pickup. I wouldn't say that it's in the best of condition. You know, the sleeve looks like it might have had a bit of water damage, but it's all intact. The CDs or DVD.
It's there, isn't it? It's all there.
It's all there, and it's fine. You know, and I think I paid £3 for it. So, you know, people pay a lot more for stuff in tatty condition. So yeah,
gonna have to try and pick up a copy of this one myself.
I think it's worth doing. Yeah. So it's available. It's out there. I think it was a well-sold game, so you don't need to break the bank for that one either.
No.
Another one for Saturn fans. Plenty of Saturn fans will have enjoyed Knights and all the rest of it. One of Yuji Naka's games and all the rest of it.
Yeah, we've covered Knights on the show before.
Yeah, I do enjoy it as well. I haven't played the Christmas Knights one though. So
no.
But I was surprised to hear that there's one on the Wii, Knight's Journey of Dreams. So yeah, again, all there and everything. So it's all good. And I do like on-rail kind of games. You know, a big fan of Panzer Dragoon and stuff like that. So, and I quite enjoyed this style of game. I think this is a little bit more open world compared to maybe what Knights was on the Saturn. Again, I've not actually played it yet, but you can use the classic controller with this as well as motion controls, which can only be a good thing sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
I found the controls a bit stuffy on the Saturn because it was really kind of early days of the 3D and trying to get that, because it wasn't actually, it was 2D, 3D in a way, wasn't it? It was kind of like tricking the perspective on the Saturn.
It was. And you even feel that sometimes a little bit with Panzer Dragoon, but that's because it's much more on rails. I don't know whether Knights is better on the Saturn with the 3D pad though. I don't have the analog controller for the Saturn, so I wouldn't know. I
think Cody managed to find a 3D pad.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll correct me whether that's right or not, but I'm sure he managed to find one.
Yeah, I did see one in Nara once. Boxed, and it wasn't expensive, but I passed on it and shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Never mind, eh? Water under the bridge.
Yep.
But this is apparently good fun, so I think I paid about £2 for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Yeah, this is it. Gonna have to remortgage soon. Oh, this one's quite an expensive one, so
Oh,
brace
right,
yourselves.
here we go.
So Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Only the first one of these came out on the Wii. I think the second one was very much PS3, Xbox 360 only. But this is apparently really, really good fun. Again, not one that I've managed to play yet. It's on my cards for maybe tomorrow evening, actually. I love kart racers, and this one is apparently really good. Again, you can use the classic controller with this, so you're not sort of just having to use motion controls. So yeah, this one looks like it could be a lot of fun, meant to be in the vein of like F-Zero GX on the GameCube, which was done by Sega. It wasn't done by Nintendo. It's apparently as, you know, sort of as full throttle as that is. So yeah, it sounds like this one's going to be a good one. This one was £8.
Wow.
I know. I know. I had to sort of take a lie down after that one. So it's all there again. So yeah. So I was quite pleased with that one. So yeah, and I think there's a recent, is it Sonic Racing Cross Worlds or something like that's come out?
Yeah, there's been a few of those in the series, hasn't there? And I think I got that one. I think I may have been PlayStation 3 or something like that.
That sounds about right.
Well, I won't say back in the day because it's a modern game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, still relatively recent.
A few years ago.
A few years ago. So the next one is Wario Land, the Shake Dimension. I think it's got a slightly different name in North America. Shake It or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Does sound about right, but anyway, I can be corrected. But this one I wanted to buy in Bournemouth, but I'm not saying we came across a bit of a problem, but something Tim pointed out to me. We was in there, I'll let Tim model, you know, and I was looking on the website which said it was in stock, but when we actually looked at the shelves, it wasn't there. So I thought, well, it's only a £10 game according to the website, so I wouldn't have thought they'd put this in a showcase because, you know, okay, £10 seems quite a bit for a Wii game. It's not that special.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really great game. But anyway, so I just thought, well, we'll pay for this one. I think it was Nights that the Journey into Dreams was the other one that I found in that particular store. Let's just ask at the counter. It might just be, you know, maybe it had been recently traded in but not put on the shelf yet, something like that perhaps. And we was waiting in the queue, and it was quite a queue. And this chap obviously paid, and he literally had this stack of games. He's sort of cradling them sort of in his arms up to his chin.
Yeah.
There was PlayStation, and I could see some white Wii-esque DVD sort of cases kind of thing. And there was other stuff as well. And I thought, I bet he's got them. And that's when you pointed out something to me, wasn't it? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he was probably, because it was getting later towards that time, so I'm pretty sure the market had packed up by then, or a lot of the traders had kind of like gone out. And I'm pretty sure that some of those traders were probably doing exactly the same that we were doing, and that's trawling all the local 3CXs and buying up a load of Wii stuff. Because that was the thing with the Mario, wasn't it? That's like another £10 at the market. So they're going around CEX, picking up a load of stuff from there, and then taking them and then doubling their money
exactly,
at the next market next week.
So there you go. So Bournemouth CEX's stock is coming to a gaming market near you.
In Bristol.
In Bristol, that's
or
it.
Newcastle.
That's it. So, but don't pay more than £10 for Wario Land, the Shake Dimension, because you could go in CEX if it's not been taken from under your nose for just a tenner. But I picked that one up in Exeter. The following day because I was in town and I thought, why not? So, hey-ho. The next one is the House of the Dead Overkill. So I don't think the House of the Dead needs any introduction again.
No.
You know, it's a big arcade hit for Sega. I think, again, the first game was ported to the Saturn, although I don't think it's that great personally. I tried it, it's a bit clunky. But anyway, Overkill is apparently a very tongue-in-cheek, very cheesy, quite rude, but fun sort of House of the Dead game. So, and I do enjoy playing these. Admittedly, it's usually with some speakers straight behind you as you're sort of using the light gun and that kind of stuff. But I think with the Wii, this could be quite a lot of fun with the motion controls. So it is apparently very, very good. So I think that might have been £4.
Wow, £4?
Yeah, I know. This is it. Next up, I don't think this is a game that gets talked about much, Mini Ninjas.
No, it's not one I've seen.
No, this one has an art style that's a bit like Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild was a thing.
Right, okay.
So naturally it's set in Japan, and obviously you're playing as a group of ninjas and all the rest of it. It's apparently got a few flaws with it, maybe the motion controls, sometimes a little bit of a nuisance, and I think maybe some of the boss fights are meant to be a bit more like quick time events, unfortunately.
Right.
But apparently this is a really fun game, so, and certainly the art style really sort of captured me. So I mean, obviously the Wii is not high definition, but still with progressive scan like 480p it's going to look pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do enjoy a ninja game, so I'll be able to report back on that maybe sometime, what I thought of Mini Ninjas. £2.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So double the price of most of them, but worth the try.
I dug deep for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's an EIDOS game.
Yeah, I always pronounce that as IDOS.
IDOS could well be.
Is it
I
IDOS
always
or
say
ADOS?
or
I know they were bought by Square Enix. So
yes. Yeah.
So, and of course a lot of people say Square Enix, but it's technically Square Enix because it's a Japanese company, and the way that Enix is written, it's E. Anyway, you don't need to hear about Japanese vowels.
The screensaver kicked in.
Yeah, this is it. So next, we're almost there. This one is Mario Strikers Charged Football. Again, £4 for this one. I don't like football, and that also means I don't like soccer.
Yeah.
So, but I do like exaggerated sports games. You know, stuff where you've got power-ups and silly business like that. Stuff where you've got characters bursting with personality and all that kind of stuff. And games like this really appeal to me.
That one's got it in spades, hasn't it? Yeah.
So I hear. Again, this is one that I've yet to sort of really get.
It's one of the
into.
very few Wii games that I actually bought full price back in the day. So I've got a copy of that one as well.
That is saying
myself.
something. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to a bit of two-player fun with that one at some point. So yeah, but I'll play it a bit one player and see how we get on with it, really. So
cool.
So £4 for that one.
Yep, not bad.
Almost there. This one's Rayman Origins. Again, you're looking at a 2D side-on sort of action platformer. Don't think Rayman needs too much introduction for people who are going to be listening or watching this kind of thing. It's got a real sort of hand-drawn art style to it, which I find really appealing. So think of things like Cuphead, I suppose. Yeah, that kind of style.
One of my nemesis games, Cuphead. I can't get anywhere in it.
It's a tough game.
Yeah, Cody always says, completed it.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a little bit of it, but I don't own it. But maybe one day I'll give it a go, because obviously it's been released physically in recent years, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've never actually played it, because I was just like, I'm not really into digital downloads unless it's for like smaller games kind of thing, like your what was that one, Retro Donut Dodo.
Donut Dodo, yeah.
There you go. Stuff like that I don't mind buying digitally.
Another game.
Yeah, this is
darn toilet.
That darn toilet, pesky toilet. This is it. Yeah, but I thought this was well worth picking up. I'm a big fan of Rayman, really. So £5.
That's good, isn't it?
It is good, isn't it? So, and again, you can play that with the classic controller if you don't want to be dealing with the motion controls. But I'll give both a go. So yeah,
brilliant.
And then the last one, and I think this one is a Wii exclusive, because a lot of these, like the Rayman Origins, you could play on PS3 or Xbox 360. But this one is Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure. This one is a bit like an adventure game, of the not quite the point and click like the Sierra games or the LucasArts games, but it's in that kind of vein where you're trying to solve puzzles and all the rest of it to further on your quest and so forth. It's certainly published by Capcom. I don't know whether it was developed by Capcom personally, but it's meant to be one of the Wii's highlights. So, and I don't think you can play this on anything other than on the Wii.
So it's an exclusive.
Yeah, an exclusive. Okay. And again, like all of these games, it was all complete and everything. So £2.50.
Yay.
There you go, a whole extra 50p on your £2 there.
That's the exclusive fee, isn't it?
It is, yeah, the exclusive fee.
The Nintendo tax.
Nintendo tax, yeah, we've got to pay it somehow, so yeah. So that was a really good set of picks.
Oh, yes, brilliant.
Well, we won't U-turn on that one.
No.
Anyway, so I've got plenty to be getting on with, but I think
you've got a stack of games there. And what? So roughly, what did you spend on the day?
On the day, because I didn't get Wario Land and Mario Strikers, I think I spent somewhere in the region of about £42. So it's pretty solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even with Wario Land and Mario Strikers, which I think was a total of 14,
Yeah.
£56.
Yeah.
Well, you can go and buy a first-party Switch game for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to playing that because I've been really enjoying the Wii actually. So yeah.
It's a solid console, isn't it? If you can, like you're doing, if you can pick out the diamonds in the rough, as it were, and find like this one, an exclusive game as well, which is quite good to know. Then there's some bargains out there. Absolutely, it's a cheap system to collect for. There's an abundance of systems in good condition. You can play GameCube stuff on it as well.
Yeah.
You can mod it up the wazoo as well.
And it's dead easy to mod because I managed to do it.
Yeah.
So, and that's saying something. You literally no hardware modification, just set things up in the correct fashion and off you go. You're off to the races.
Yeah.
It's really good. I have to say I've been quite impressed with the Wii. I mean, admittedly, a lot of this is hindsight stuff. Maybe if you was there at the time, you might have got a bit fed up of, a lot of the shovelware that it is known for, and definitely has.
Absolutely.
But I think if you're looking for a system that's a little bit different than all the rest of it, I think it's probably one of the best ones to buy for at the moment, really. So
yeah. I think that, and I was thinking about this earlier actually. I was thinking that and the Master System.
Yeah.
There are a few really spicy meatballs out there, but I think the Master System, like Rainbow Islands, for example, £20-25, and that's a quality game.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And the great thing with that is they come like this, they come in the hard cases. So the only thing with the Master System is often you find the manuals are missing. That's
are they? Oh, that happens with Mega Drive stuff as well, quite commonly though. So.
And I think that's mostly harking back to the rental days. Because a lot of the stuff got rented out. And I know from personal experience that a lot of those manuals just didn't come back half the time.
No.
So, or they just got completely trashed and chucked in the bin.
I suppose the other thing you sometimes find them is photocopied manuals.
Yes.
Because I suppose if they get lost, the shop might eventually sort of photocopy it somehow, and then that's what you end up getting, I guess. I think I've got a couple of Mega Drive games that don't have the physical original manual, but they have photocopied manual of sorts. So yeah. But oh well, never mind, eh? But that's a good shout on the Master System. Yeah.
Well, there we have it then. So that was our day out in Bournemouth.
It was indeed.
Nice, and it was great to hang out with you.
It really was.
Aside from all the games and all that sort of stuff, it was good to have a nice day together and just hang out. And we had various chats in the car on the way there and on the way back
We
as well,
certainly
which
did.
was good. But we won't get into any of that.
No. Keep it PG.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, I've missed being able to do stuff like that. I mean, occasionally I got to do stuff like that with other people in Japan. I've got another good friend out in Japan, Tim, who does another Tim. He does the Team Pandori channel and stuff like that. But it was a bit far and few between. And when you're with somebody like, I have a good friend Bear out there. We mostly had similar interests, but when it came to gaming, she was very much, I've got Animal Crossing on the Switch. That's all she needed.
Yeah.
And there's me rambling off about some weird, obscure sort of Japanese game on the Super Famicom. This is like, whew. So it was really rad to share the day, sort of, like-minded and just sort of, have fun.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything further you want to say? Or?
No, I don't think so. Just because I think, obviously, purely to wrap it up for, I don't know what the word is, but people are probably thinking, like, let's listen to something else now. But no, I think it would be, I mean, I suppose there are probably plenty of thoughts I've got about markets in general. I think it's great that we have them.
Yes.
I think it'd be a shame if we didn't have events like this. But all I would say is that if you're a little bit budget conscious like myself, I'm sure everybody's budget conscious to a degree, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think if you're budget conscious, just prepare. Just prepare a list of what you're looking for. Write down, the price that you could pay for it, the average price, and then you can't go far wrong, I don't think. And but they're good. It was good fun, and the time went quickly. So yeah. So, but it's purely a marketplace. You don't go there to play games or anything like that.
No. And there was one stall that had a Mario or something playing on it, something really cheesy.
Yeah, you had to sort of like, it was like a one life. Or, like complete
level.
the first stage as quick as you can.
Yeah.
I came close, but I was about 5 seconds off the pace. So I didn't even write my score up.
Well, on that note of rage quitting, I think it's time for us to quit.
I think so, yeah. Call it a day, eh? Oh, dear.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Vicky.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. It's been a pleasure. So I hope everybody found that interesting. I know I've enjoyed it.
not too much of us waffling along too much.
No, they enjoy this stuff, I'm sure. Right.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Bye. Yes.
There we go.
There you go, did it. And the battery didn't give up on us as well, so...